That's what I need. So I need a black slate. Oh. Alright. I can edit that out. No. I don't want to edit anything out. Tuesday. Email me at heregoesnothing@talesoftruth.com. It's like, start getting emails. I mean, I've started getting emails, but once a second fan, a third and a fourth fan come along, maybe, well, it'll morph. I expect it to morph. And that is the crazy thing about this. I expect it will become interesting at some point, whether it's soon or a year from now. I don't know. This is just documentation. And Tuesdays today is trying to be a live storyteller, I guess. It's practicing a live storytelling ability. Some people have an ability to tell a story to a bunch of kids. You know, just walk up to them and either have a story already prepared. Well, yeah, you would have prepared something to say and just make stuff up. So I've been practicing narrowing down this one story and expecting at some point to tell an interesting version of it. Right now I'm not. I don't think the versions I've been telling are, I mean, they're interesting to some people, but they're kind of told as reflection. What if you just told it objectively without even a name? Just, there was a boy. So that's what I'm going to practice today. Let's practice. Tuesdays is practice. Try and get through it as fast as possible. End it and move on to Wednesday. Here we go. Drink some water. Take these off for this. Sorry. I will want to edit this out, but I'm not editing anything. So, here in the blackness, I have my water. I have, it's a one-man crew here. All right, tell the story real quick. There once was a country boy. He lived with his father. One of the things he enjoyed the most was hiking through the woods, up the creek to the waterfall, and over the hillside, and through the apricot orchard, and to the blackberry bush. Oh, the blackberries were fresh and ripe, and he enjoyed every time they got to go, and the pies they would make. Delicious. But one day, the boy was traveling with his father, visiting a friend in a distant land. When they entered the town, they were greeted by all, and they were welcomed into the home of one of his father's old friends. Everything around him was changing. This large world was all new to the boy. All he had known was, or all he had appreciated and enjoyed in life, was his country hikes at home. And someone pointed to a corner of the room, and there sat a glorious beast. It was white, bluish sheen. The hair was particularly thick around the dog's throat, and the dog sat perfectly still, and the boy was entranced. And while the adults went the other way to to talk about old times and the last time they visited and spin interesting tales about one another. The boy was still entranced by the beast in the corner, and he reached out his hand and walked straight towards it. And they'd only been in the house maybe 5-10 minutes at the most, when screams come from the other room, and all the adults rush in. And the boy is in the mouth of the beast. And the boy's eye is visible, but the beast is latched around his face. Get him off! The owner rushes in and retracts the beast. And the boy was bleeding profusely from the side of his head. Get him into the bathroom and head under the sink. Wash away. Is his eye okay? Is his eye okay? Is his eye okay? The beast tear into him forever and cause darkness. And the blood was washed away. Miracle of miracles, the tooth hit the bone, right between the eye and the temple. And to the local emergency room, into the hands of health providers. The young boy received 3 stitches on the side of his head. But from that moment forward, he saw the world very differently. And he returned home to the country he loved to hike. And he lived on, and every time he would see a large dog, a beast, he would shudder in fear. And the dogs would see it, and they would taunt him. And the boy would tremble and move along quickly. And one day, in his home country, when he was with his father once again, visiting friends just up the road, they partied late into the evening, and the boy enjoyed the artwork on the walls and the music that was playing in the company of his father's friends. And the father needed to leave, and the boy, years had passed. He was old enough now to stay behind on his own, and he even looked forward to the walk home that night along the road where he lived. His father departed, and the boy enjoyed some more art and some more music and some more conversation with his father's friends. And when it was time to leave, the moon was full, and the road was white before him, and he walked. Patches of blackness would pass him on either side, and then before him loomed a dark tunnel. Well, he only knew it was a tunnel because in the middle there was a pinpoint of light, and he knew that's the direction he needed to walk. But another thing that he thought of just then, that he only wishes he had thought of earlier in the evening. In this black hole lives a beast. A beast who knows you by your smell and growls every time you pass. In the daylight, but now it is night, and you must wander into the darkness, young boy. A pinpoint of light fixed in his sight, and his heart palpitating at a deep, dark fright. He marched forward, resolutely, because fate would take its course, and before he had gone too far, there in the dark, was his old foe. And now, nothing stood between him and a fate he could not predict. But power rose up in him, and he knew one voice that he could call upon, and that was the sound of his own voice, and he cried out, "Hello!" And darkness disappeared suddenly with a bright light and another voice to match his calling out for the beast to come in for the night. And the rest of the night was different for that boy, because the pinpoint of light was now clear as a bell, and he could march on without fright into the night and then the day that would follow. And never again would his fear of the beast rise, because now his eyes saw that he was larger than any foe that he could ever encounter. I need to cut that down. Well, maybe I could subclip that out. I gotta be able to find a good ending. That's the best. Only reason to tell a story is to have, to end well, which is what I am going to do right now.